Počkejte klidně tady. Good morning.
Morning.
Nice to see you, Charito.
Yeah.
Morning.
Hello,
You-
Leslie. So wonderful to have
Hello,
you here
Les.
all. And I hope it will be interesting. And we will start in few seconds time. So I will switch my camera. Hello, Tracy. And we will start. So
You look swell, Ducky.
thank you. Thank you.
You the mustache. I mean
Yes.
the
A little bit. A little bit. So let's start.
wow. Like it. Okay, go.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. The next Wasteless Work Talks are here. Not Wasteless Work Talks, Power of Tachar is here with all my family and all my friends from all around the globe. We will write into the language on the back, into the future on the back of language. And today's term is, let's say, a little special. It is unconcern. And it may look different than the others, but it has a very deep reason for using this term today. So we will start, and we will start according to your list here on my screen. And I would like to start with Nupur today because she will have another appointment after. So Nupur, if you hear the term unconcern, what came first to your mind, please?
Thank you, Michael, and my apologies, guys. I'm really interested in all these power of touch sessions, and due to many things, I missed subsequently last 3 sessions. It's really pity on me, but today I'm really feeling good that I could join. One apologies, I'm available for first 30 minutes, and then from after 30 minutes, I'm having a customer call starting. So I could reschedule and fetch 15 minutes from there. So said that, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
So said that, I tell that if I hear that term unconcerned, it rings in my mind that something which I'm not of my interest, which I am either I do not know the subject, or I know the subject but I'm not bothered about the subject. I'm not worrying about the subject. A good example, as per me, could be the global warming. We were all knowing that the way the globe is practicing, the human being is practicing its survival in this earth, that will cause global warming, and it was on the paper since 80s. But we could not feel it, we could not sense it, it never harmed us. When after this 1980s and so when it was started a buzz, nobody could believe it. But seeing today, when we are in 21st century landing to 2025, it's really hurts, right? So unconcerned, we were unconcerned, we were not concerned about the global warming previously, being the human being on the earth. We used it the way that we wanted to use at the gain of many, and now we are seeing the consequence of the same. So the term unconcerned, again, I don't care, I do not have interest, I do not worry, or the lack of care or interest, the freedom of anxiety. Again, if I talk about that, every now and then the news comes and that talks about that some entity like say SpaceX or someone is sending some lower orbit satellites, medium orbit satellite, normal satellites to the space, and you're so happy you're creating such a great communication network. I belong to telecom industry, but you know what worries me? We are again unconcerned about the impact of it, because tomorrow it should not happen that sunlight is not reaching at this for a specific duration because of the hindrance of those satellite to a specific space, causing some more harm. So, like that, it may have various meaning, but unconcerned to me is not concerned, not being concerned. So this is how I see it, Michael. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Nupur. And Charito, you was next one. So please, Charito, if you hear the term unconcerned, what came first to your mind?
Good evening, Michael.
Good evening.
Beautiful Tracy, Leslie, Promilla, Mirjana, and the handsome Dr. Ash, and Maggie, and Jesse, everybody here. Wow, I'm in good company. You see, for me, it's the word unconcerned. It's quite, simple. It's like telling somebody or the people who wanted your attention to would say, it sounds like, I don't give a damn what you're doing. I don't give a heck about it all. Like your advocacy, Michael. We have been here for 2 or 3 years. We keep on trying to reach out a lot of people, right? And there are many who listens, who sees your posts and all of us talking here maybe, but they don't even raise a whimper. They don't raise a single pen or their hand to do something about it. It's like, I'm not concerned about it. The voiceless word, what's that? Something like that. It's an indifferent feeling, attitude towards something which is supposed to be of great importance. So for me, that is unconcerned. It might be very simple to look at, but if we dig deeper into that, wow, unconcerned is a grave, call it a sin, not sin from God, but from among us, from people. We want to live with this word. Want to be here longer. But if we are unconcerned with a lot of things around us, even if there are people like you, Michael, trying to put it on record, put it in the forefront, and people are not concerned about it, then that's for me is unconcerned. And back to you, Jackie Michael.
Thank you very much. Tracy, you was the next one. If you hear the term unconcerned, what came to your mind, please?
Hello, Michael. Hello, everyone. I'm concerned. I don't remember last time I used this word, maybe ever, because oftentimes we are concerned about something, even though there's a negativity bias. But unconcerned doesn't seem to be very appealing to me. But I thought a little bit more about it with everybody is in this digital age. Information overloading is pervasive. I think unconcernability could be a good thing once in a while. And there's one thing I like to point out about the younger generation, especially in Gen Z and Alpha, people in their early 20s, even in their teenage. I see this unconcerned attitude a lot. They are very much assertive and centered on their own matters. I do see they don't care much about anything else. Any others' opinions is entirely others. It does not concern me. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you very much, Tracy. And you pointed quite interesting point. Leslie, what about you? If you hear the term for the first time, what came to your mind, please?
Good morning, everyone. Interesting word. So it's our aspiration to not be concerned with things that don't concern us. Now, in Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he has a lovely model about circle of influence and circle of concern. These circles stay exactly the same size, but what you're thinking about fills the circle. Actually, you could look at it as a donut. So each circle has a center and then the outer rim. We want to focus on the things over which we have control, which is only what we're thinking, not what other people are thinking or doing. So our circle of concern is what we write, the meetings we attend to, the movies we watch or go to, the people that are in our lives. Unfortunately, the circle that you have no control of over the circle of, if you would say, unconcern, are what other people are doing. Now, we want to aspire to be unconcerned about the things that don't concern us, over which we have no control, maybe some influence. But the truth is, the only thing any of us has any real control over, and only about 3 or 4% of us can do this fairly effectively and consistently, is to focus on what you're thinking, how it makes you feel when you're thinking it, and how frequently you think it. So we are very concerned about other people's business, other people's behavior, and this is based on our fears that we won't be good enough, etc. So for me, unconcern is an aspiration to remain unconcerned with what other people are doing, and unless I'm engaged with them, what they're thinking. And yet I have no control over the politics, yet I have some influence, because my concern with my clients all over the world is what's going on for them. But effectively, Stephen Covey outlines it beautifully in his 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, that we ought to, or ideally will, as frequently as possible, mind our own business. I'll leave it there, Michael. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was very interesting. Nupur, you are the next one. I think you are still in Germany, so the same. Sorry, Nupur, it's not for you. Sorry, Nupur, it's for Pramila. I just put my eyes a little higher on the screen. Pramila, you are in Germany. What about you and unconcerned?
Thank you, Michael. Still, I am in Germany. Let me connecting with concerns and unconcerns with my journey and with my travel in Germany to different neighboring countries. So talking about like concerns, this is really touching my feeling. This is really connecting my engagement. Then unconcerning, that is in between of our travel and in between of our journey, we have taken lots of pictures. We have taken different type of foods. We have visited number of people from different places. We have seen different historical places and core city and different here different castle and different things. But only I'm just starting to write about my concerns area. Just 3 days before I started to writing. So which are my concerning things? So according to that, I started to selecting few pictures which really feel my heart and which is really touched in my feeling. So that makes me some cloud 9. So then I can see and I can remember when I was in Nepal, and even this is helpful for my old age, or when I feel bored, that time also I can see some review. So this is my concerns. But unconscious things, because we are a small human, so there are lots of loud and lots of noise in terms of different perspective. So at that perspectives, because I don't have that ability to take overload messages, overload things, overload certain things. So that is my concerns. So with that concerns, what I I thought what my brain started to think in different perspectives. That means a number of thousands of thoughts is coming in my mind. But among them, certain things only that connect with my emotions. So that helps to make a plan, and that helps to make behaviors. That helps to me impact. This is my concerns. Concerns always have my impact. That impact could be positive, could be negative, but concerns I usually selected from which will give my positive impact, which helps to helps to act positive behaviors, help to cultivate my positive emotions. Thank you, Michael. This
Thank
is
you very
from
much,
me.
Pramila. Thank you very much. Margaret, what about you and unconcerned? What came to your mind, please?
Thank you so much, Michael, and good morning to everyone. I see unconcerned apparently very differently. I see it as an unattachment. I'm not attached to or entangled into things. So not that things don't matter, but because if you hang on and attach to them, they create suffering. So one can deeply care, but you can be unattached, so that you are not overtaken by fear, anger, or ego, right? So, yeah, that's how I see it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Dr. Ash, is your turn. So if you heard the term unconcerned, what came to your mind, please?
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much, Michael, for having me up. Every word in the English dictionary has an importance of its own. Now, the word unconcerned actually creates a state of indifference or a lack of worry, interest, or emotional engagement with something which is of importance. Now, it depends upon the psyche, should I say, of a person or the mindset, where something of importance means nothing to somebody else, or it's a joke, or it's not taken seriously, whereas to somebody else, it's a matter of concern. So the person who is unconcerned is obviously detached from circumstances that might typically evoke a strong reaction in others. So this absence of concern can actually manifest in various ways, from a calm demeanor to the face of a crisis, to a complete disinterest in matters that directly affect one's surroundings. Now, I always, while teaching at universities, and that's why my classes normally fill up, because I teach through examples, whether it's in any subject at all that I teach. And I'd like to bring about 3 examples here so that we do not derive any negative connotations as such. Basically, the first example I'd like to give is of something that has touched my heart, the war in Ukraine and the people suffering in Gaza, hungry people, people who for 60 or 70 days have been cut off from food trucks coming in Gaza. And now they have gone amok and they're raiding United Nations warehouses to be able to get food. They're fighting amongst each other. They have turned into robbers also at the same time. So you see how mindsets change. And that is what I'd like to describe further. That is what is of concern to me, but unfortunately, the leaders of the world who can just turn around and say, stop altogether, and everything will stop. Well, that is of unconcern to them, but of great concern to me personally, and I know to most of you all also, who are thinking alike in the same manner as me. It's a question of sensitivity. It's a question of feeling for others. They are human beings. Black, white, brown, yellow. Whatever color people are, whatever religion they have, whatever language they speak, whatever culture they have. Now, recently, the war between India and Pakistan. I don't know why. Media world is somebody else. We are humans. As you say, Michael, we are all humans. We must all feel for each other. We feel for pets. I feel for my cats, for my dogs, for everything. Birds even. That dove that comes and sits on my balcony and calls for peace. And therefore, I lost 3 friends in this recent war with India and Pakistan. You all know them. And suddenly, they just cut me off completely. Oh, let them fight. Let them, it's the leaders. Put them in a boxing ring, let them fight. That's what I always say. And people don't fight, human beings don't fight, friends don't break up on stupid wars between neighbors or countries, whatever it is. It's a mindset. So please don't ever get carried away and lay a meaning on the word unconcerned. I would prefer to lay an emphasis on the word concern. Thank you very much, Michael, for having me up. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ash. Your words move me strongly. Usi, you are the next one. If you heard the term unconcerned, what came to your mind, please?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Michael, for giving me this chance to speak about a powerful and important topic. Unconcern. Unconcern means not caring, not worrying, and not getting involved. This small word can have a big impact on our lives, our communities, and our planet. Let me share with you 2 sides of unconcern. On one hand, unconcern can be helpful. Sometimes it means staying calm and not being stressed. It means we avoid wasting time on gossip or negative talk. In this way, unconcern helps us keep peace in our hearts and focus on what truly matters. But there's another side to unconcern, a dangerous side. It can become deadly when we ignore people who are suffering, when we pretend not to see injustice, when we stay silent while others are being taken, hurt badly, or killed. Right now in Tanzania, some people and families are crying silently because their loved ones were abducted and never returned. People like Ali Kibao, some people are being taken by force and later found dead. They've become painful symbol of society where some voices are ignored and some lives are treated as if they don't matter. When authorities don't investigate, when communities don't speak up, when the media stays silent, there is not peace. There is a waste of love, a waste of trust, a waste of what makes us true human. Unconcern is not neutral. Unconcern is not a being silence. It is being part of the problem. If we want a better world, we cannot afford to be unconcerned. We must care, we must act, we must speak up, not only for ourselves, but for for those who are no longer have a voice. Because where there is unconcern, there is no care. There is unconcern, there is no justice. Where there is unconcern, there is no future. Let us choose to care. Let us choose to be involved. Let us choose a future full of hope, kindness, and justice. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Jose. It was, once again, you deliver great speech, and I'm all the time fascinating that you do so in the very young age. Shami, you just joined us, so which can be of the advantage. If you close your eyes and you hear the term unconcern, what came to your mind, please, first?
Thank you, Michael. I'm sorry for late attend. Have you heard me?
Yes, we can hear you.
The topics of unconcern, a warning of becoming numb to others' palm, and a whisper reminding us the true power religion carry. And let choose connection over indifference. Let's the ones who notice, care, and act. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you very much. And you know that usually I choose the term, the word, because it came to me during night. But this time it was different, because this time Katerina Cherna, who was part of some of the events, friend of my colleague of mine who is sitting here in the same building as I'm sitting, came from a trip which she made with her husband to the US. And this time they rode through the south with their car and visited a lot of small towns, villages, and so on. And she came back. She wrote great blog about it every day and so on. But she came back, and the first whom she visited was me, because her office is next to me. And we talked, and it was interesting. And at one moment, she said, "Michael, you helped me to realize there was something different this time." And she was there for the third time, all the time a long trip. And she said the difference was that the people in America stopped to talk about politics. You cannot hear the talks in a pub. You cannot hear it on the street. You cannot hear it anywhere. And that was so different. But I did not realize that when I was there. But just now, it looks like the people are unconcerned about politics. And when she said that, at the very same moment, it came to my mind, what will happen if we start to be unconcerned about politics? If we do not turn the TVs on to listen to all the bad news, to all the politicians' statements, and so on. If we do not follow the media on that, what will happen? Because if there will be no audience, who will be led? Because I'm sure that will change strongly the approach. And I do not watch TV for 5 years or more. I do not watch any news. I make news, but I do not watch them. So it was very interesting. And I started immediately, my brain started to work. And the true size of the world was revealed by your answers. You know, it was so far, so big, so unexpectedly, so huge, that it is so fascinating. So I'm really happy that we did that. And I would like to ask whom? I will ask Charito. Charito, if you have heard about all this level of unconcerned, Was some of them surprising for you?
Yes, of course, but some are not. You see, Michael, it's a case to case basis. I think detachment and concern and concern emanates from the heart of the individual person. It's like you think about yourself first. Does it concern me that much? Will it make me better? Whatever. For example, when there was a war in Europe, in Ukraine, and people are afraid, and even in our country, it was escalating. So we know that something will happen. If it won't stop, it will affect everybody. But what about us? Like for myself, I come from the Philippines. What can I do? Yeah, if the U.S. you fight it out with Ukraine for that, we will be involved because the bases are here. So, if I show concern or unconcern, does it matter really? What can I do, a poor person? Shall I be detached or undetached about it? So I would say that with all the unconcern, the not caring attitude of the people around the world, let's go back to the individual self. And I understand what Leslie was saying, and even Tracy. But in my own point of view, all being this unconcern around the world, the different happenings, it boils down to the individual person. It's up to her to discern, to decide. Shall I be concerned or unconcerned? Is that what you're asking me, Michael?
Uh,
Because even if you want to be concerned, if you cannot do something about it, shall we just close our eyes and our mouth? Or shall we do something about it? Like the wasteless world. That's why I said they're unconcerned because they can start at our doorstep. The wasteless word that we're talking about, even if you are from Bratislava, very far from here. But when everybody is concerned about it, we don't need to be we're different countries in the world, so far apart. But it starts in our own doorstep, in ourselves. Even the words we say, they are garbage sometimes, right? Not everything is angelic. So that's my point of view. Back to you, Michael.
it was a great answer, and I can tell you that today's the chat is the largest chat which we had ever recorded. So I will try to log it and I will try to attach it to the communication. Tracy, what about you? Did something what was said surprised you?
I can't say it's a surprise, but during this conversation, I was listening to all of you sharing your views of this word. There's a word that came to me, that's confidence. In order to be unconcerned, I think there's an amount of confidence in the person. It's different from what I see earlier on, because unconcerned, it seems a little bit on the negative side, but the word itself is entirely neutral. So I just feel there has to be some amount of confidence in order to be unconcerned with something. It's not entirely indifferent. There's a little bit confident. Thank you, Michael.
It's a great answer, Leslie. Coming back to you, your answer was very, very rich, and I have to ask you, what feeling do you have from the conversation today?
Well, let's see the feeling. I think most of us are looking at all of this through our own lens and our own perspective. There's a nice conversation going on in the chat. And so what came out of all of this, and I think it was probably Charito who sparked it, but everybody has said it in one way or another, that people will wake up when they're ready. They will be unconcerned until they reach a level of awareness that would have this thing that's going on, be it in any country, all of a sudden they're at a place to be ready and be guided to wake up and show concern. Now, we spend a lot of time thinking that others should be concerned, or it looks like they're not concerned. That is a judgment. They, whoever they are, get to wake up when they're ready. And this is truly being, realizing that we cannot control, nor can we expect other people to adopt our values. And the last thing I'm going to say is what Tracy pointed out about confidence. So, the confidence to know your own values well enough to stand in the face of adversity when required. Perhaps that is the moment that we wake up and we show concern. But it's not up to any of us to say people should or shouldn't, right? Because they're going to do this in their own time. And that's one of the best examples for me of remembering that all I can control is what I think. I cannot control what other people think or do. I can have some influence. So this was very interesting, Michael. Your words are always great. So thank you for asking.
Thank you very much, Leslie. And I would like to give the last word to Ussi, because I think that Ussi delivered today a very strong statement in suffering of the people in silence. Ussi, what do you think is needed to wake up the people and break the silence in your country that something what you described is not happening again?
Thank you, Michael, again for giving me this chance. Sometimes people think they are doing nothing wrong by saying, it is not my business. I don't want to get involved. But the silence, that unconcern, is not neutral. It helps injustice grow. It gives power to those who are do wrong. It makes the pain of others invisible. Unconcern is like a small fire that looks harmless. But if you ignore it, it can burn down an entire village. In short, unconcern is not doing nothing. It is choosing the side of harm by staying silent. And that is what surprised me for most. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you all. We have less than 2.5 minutes left. To be honest, every single time I think we reach the level which is hardly to beat. But every single time we discuss much deeper, simple terms which turn into something which really can change the world. And I'm so happy and honored that all of you take your time, some of you during the night, some of you in the evening, some in the morning. And still we meet here and we talk really riding. I feel like the rider on the back of a language with all of you around me. And I do believe that what we have said and what the people will listen will help them to understand that it is not the term, it is all the time will be us, how we behave and how we take it. Because we have the language, and our big advantage is that we speak the language of efficiency. Our heart is speaking to the others. Not numbers, not charts, not presentations, no, our heart. And this is something, if you speak with our heart, then the heart of the others understand it. And as Dr. Ash says, it doesn't matter what color is our skin or what age we are humans. So thank you very much for your time and have a nice time free of waste and wasting in all its forms. Stay safe, be free, and please be human and the role model of human. Thank you and see you next time.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank
Thank you,
you all.
Michael. Bye,
Everybody have a
everyone.
great week.
Thank you, Michael.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye, everyone. Mike.